loves, coming on to talk about heartbreak. We have a brand new course and support group that is launching right here before the holidays called Heartbreak Through the Holidays. It's how to heal and cope through the holidays with heartbreak. And so I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about my experiences with heartbreak, because one of the things I know for sure is that in several seasons and spaces in my life, I have been heartbroken and I didn't even really realize that that's what I was dealing with, if that makes sense. And I think that this is going to be really good as far as being relatable for people, because there's lots of different types of heartbreak, and grieving loss comes in many different forms. And so I want to share just some of my different experiences, because these are some of the signs of heartbreak. It is not just grieving the death of a loved one. It is not just divorce or a breakup. Heartbreak comes in many forms. But obviously the biggest forms being when we've lost someone we love and when there's a breakup or divorce. But I want to talk about nuanced heartbreak as well, because you might be in a place right now where you could be heartbroken for a very long time and not realize it, and you've been trying to move forward in life and without properly processing your grief and your heartbreak. And when you do that, it's very difficult to start new things. It's very difficult for you to embrace the beauty of new beginnings when you have not properly grieved or let go of the disappointment, the pain, the heartbreak in the previous seasons of your life. So without the understanding or knowledge of how important healing is, you can literally be right now. I'm going to give you some examples. You could be trying to start a business. You could be trying to start a new goal. You could be trying to go back to school. You could be wanting to date and get into a new relationship. You could be deciding that you're going to make some new friends, or you want a new tribe. You want to attract your new tribe and new connections. You could be deciding that there's all different kinds of stuff you really want for your life right now. But if you are heartbroken and you have been deeply hurt by situations in your life, or deeply hurt by people, it is very difficult to give yourself permission to move forward when you're still hurting over what happened previously. So not just my divorces, right? Some of the greatest heartbreak I have experienced is in friendship breakups. When a friendship doesn't go the way you thought. My friendship breakups, where I thought I had forever friends, and you guys, anybody who's followed me for any amount of time, I'm probably going to call this video friendship breakup, but the friendship heartbreak has been so hard for me, because when there are people in your life that you think are going to be in your life forever, and it reaches a point where you lose this relationship, you lose this connection, you lose this ride or die friend, or a friend that you actually even treated like family, it is heartbreaking. Friendships for me have been one of the most heartbreaking places in my life, because you don't expect to lose your friends. You don't expect, when you have been friends with someone 10, 15, 20 years, you don't expect to lose them. You don't expect for them to die. You don't expect to go your separate ways. But the truth is that all friendships are not forever friendships. Some friendships are for a season and they expired, and now it's time to move on, but it's very difficult to let go. And so even as you're wanting to make new friends, some of the side effects of friendship heartbreak for me have been distrust, not trusting new people who come into my life, right? Afraid to even put your heart out there or let someone in the way you did before, because you're thinking, you could be so let down or get your heart broken again by trusting someone that ended up not being there for you. One of the biggest heartbreaks I've also experienced is just people not being who you expected them to be or who you thought they were. And you, in your mind, you thought you knew this person so well and you didn't know them at all, right? And that has been some of the greatest heartbreak. And to be honest, the other part of heartbreak that has been really hard for me is business dreams. Putting your all into a business dream and then doing it, and it's a time to pivot, or God has something else for me to do, and it's like I've put my all into this dream. Everything that I had to give, I gave into this dream and this business and this idea, and then it doesn't work, or it's time to pivot. It's not forever. And it's like, wait a minute, right? I thought that was it. I thought this was it. Listen, Brittany Wilder and I are going to be doing this course together in support group for Heartbreak at the Holidays. And I encourage any of you who are really, really struggling with grief, struggling with heartbreak, disappointment, you're struggling with letting go and forgiving yourself for maybe some of the choices you've made, forgiving others for the choices they've made so that you can move on with your life. And we want 2024 to be a new year. We want to be able to go into a new year with our hearts clear, our minds open, right? Believing in faith and love and the joy and the beauty of new beginnings. But first, we often have to take a time and a moment to grieve and to process and to let go. It's not always easy to let go, but we've got to let go. And some of you who are watching this are going to watch this in replay. There's been stuff that happened to you 10, 15, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, that you have not properly let go. You have not properly processed that pain and that heartbreak, and it's still affecting you here today. You're not opening yourself up to the limitless possibilities that God has for you because you're still hurting. And you're afraid to be hurt again, just like I was. But it's not okay to just stay there, right? So click the link in my bio, the link in the bio for the Heartbreak at the Holidays course and support group. It's going to be absolutely so powerful. You don't want to miss it. Brittany is absolutely amazing. I have never taught a grief course or support group before because honestly, my mother died 10 years ago. And it's only been in the last 2 or 3 years that I've even gotten to a point where like I can talk about grief and I can talk about loss without like completely breaking down. And so I've said for years, I'm not ever teaching anything on grief. It's just too much of a theme in my life. I've buried my whole family. My entire immediate family has passed away. And it's just been so much pain and so much grief. But I'm finally at a point where I'm going to teach this course with Brittany, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be very, very powerful. So click the link in the bio. Make sure you grab your spot. We're starting October 23rd. You want to make sure you're inside of that course and support group with us. All right, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.